What's up, guys? Welcome to another video.
Hi guys.
So we've got some questions to answer, but we're not going to answer them. So you guys always hear stuff from us, like our perspective, our point of view on things, and that's just us speaking for Abigail because she can't speak for herself on the deeper issues. You know, she can tell you her wants and needs for the most part, but as far as the complex stuff, she really doesn't have a voice on that kind of thing. So reached out to my friend Dan from the Aspie World. Now Dan has Asperger's, diagnosed Asperger's, on the autism spectrum. I think they've actually gotten rid of officially, gotten rid of the Asperger's diagnosis.
Right, it's all one now.
Right, that's the official part of it though. You know, it doesn't take away the fact that he has Asperger's, really. Right. So anyway, we reached out to Dan. We're doing this collaboration with him, so make sure you go over and check out Dan's video after you watch this one. But these are our questions for Dan.
Hey, what's going on? Super pumped to be answering these questions and doing this video with you, Asa. So yeah, let's fire away and get into these questions.
Okay, Dan, so first question for you. You and Abigail both have autism, but you're different. You know, of course, everybody's different, but you're unique. Right.
Right.
Like, how different are you?
Right.
And so where are your similarities? Where are your differences? Is that a good question?
I think it is.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's a good question. I have a diagnosis of autism, so does Abigail, and how does that differ? So I think initially the type of diagnosis differs. So I am diagnosed with an autism spectrum condition, but that as being Asperger Syndrome, and Asperger Syndrome is kind of like a more high-functioning autism spectrum condition, but they don't use that terminology anymore because you're saying like high-functioning, low-functioning isn't really used anymore. Now, how they are the same would be that they have look, I have things on a routine. I do things like the same way. I have a routine and I can't go off the routine, and when I go off the routine and like certain changes or impulsive changes or changes in general, those things really get me down. They cause meltdowns. They cause kind of like distress because I'm going, you know, along doing the thing that I want to do, and then all of a sudden it changes, and that's very, very upsetting. I also have hypersensitivity, so certain lighting affects me and how I see, so I can't have certain lights, I can't be around certain lights. I'm really sensitive to sound, certain noises, also certain certain actual noises affect me, so that like maybe like a word, like a certain word would affect me so much that it would upset me, and certain words kind of like make me really uncomfortable, which is something that I share with other people on the autism spectrum, which is I find quite fascinating.
Oh, good answer. Good answer.
All right, next question is, how are individuals in the UK treated in public versus the individuals in the US? Is it the same? Do you get the same stigmas?
Right.
Or are they different?
Good question.
Thanks.
So here in the UK, we have a more tolerable attitude, I believe, towards people with disabilities. Although the government at the moment is quite a difficult one to deal with people with disabilities, I strongly believe that the general public have a good understanding and a good kind of like attitude towards people with disabilities generally. So you know, I did an interview with somebody I knew from the US who also has a spectrum condition, and they said that a lot of people in the US are quite ignorant to the fact and they don't know about it. So a lot of people in big public services like hospitals, you know, Uber drivers, things like that, they're not really aware of autism and what those conditions are. So you kind of get strange looks, and people, you know, will judge you. Here in the UK, people don't judge. They kind of say, okay, well, maybe that guy's having a bad day, or maybe that guy's got something, you know, an issue that he's trying to deal with, or maybe he's got a condition, and that's very interesting. And I think those kind of attitudes will change the world. But I definitely feel like the UK in itself has more of those kind of I don't know, more of those kind of like moral kind of values of saying, okay, look, maybe this guy's having a bad day. I feel like in America it's very go, and everyone wants to just get to the finish line very quickly, and by doing that they kind of skip out the middle part where, hey, you know, that guy's not being a difficult, awkward person, maybe he's got a condition that makes him that certain way. And I feel like, you know, that's something that's very different that I've experienced anyway from the US to the UK. But I love America, I love Americans, I go to America quite often, and I just think it's because there's a larger group of people in America than there are in the UK. I mean, the population's massive in America compared to the UK, so it's an easier place to cover really with autism awareness and understanding here and in the UK.
Interesting. I think that, you know, I think society as a whole, like we have a lot of room for growth.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what side of the pond you're on, you know? So do you find that being autistic is more of a blessing or a curse? Somewhere in between? What do you think?
I personally feel like autism is equally a blessing and a curse, right? Okay, so I can't go to the local supermarket on my own and feel really chilled and not feel stressed out, not have anxiety. I can't go to the middle of a city that I've never been to or travel to a new country that I've never been to and be super chill and have no anxiety. I can't do those things. So autism is a curse in that respect. But you talk about it being a blessing. I did this talk, I did a video on my channel about it, and I do talks all around the world on it, and the idea is that autism is a superpower, and you need to really find that empowerment and use it as a superpower, because I didn't for many, many years, and then I realized that I was good at playing music. I'm a multi-musician. I taught myself to play loads of different instruments, and then I was able to do a degree in chemistry, and without having any qualifications in school. But it's finding that superpower, that thing that you like if it's, for me, it was like numbers, maths, and music, and creativity. I loved those things, so finding those things made me kind of above the other kids or people in my kind of age bracket for that, on my ability level, because of the fact that I had this spectrum condition, and I find that super empowering.
All right, guys, next question. You, Dan, have found a place for yourself to be. You've started this platform. What are your tips for other people to start a platform like this?
Right. Or just to find success,
Yeah.
with the challenges that they face, or maybe someone that faces similar challenges to you. What would be your tips for that person to find success and peace and everything else, like you seem to have?
Exactly.
I really did create a space here on YouTube and on my channel and with my groups on Facebook and Discord, and having that space of people who are like-minded, and I found success in that because I really believed in it. I had passion behind it. And I always say to people, if you want to be successful in an area and really kind of go for it and be empowered to do it, you can be successful in any area you choose as long as you're passionate about it. So find the thing that you're really into. Look, if it's playing Minecraft, it's playing Minecraft. If it's building Legos, it's building Legos. Like if it's computers, if it's gaming, if it's comic books, if it's YouTube, if you have a passion for it and you love it, you can be successful at it. Because there's this thing where if you forget about what money, forget about money for a second. If you think about what makes you happy, and to me, creating stuff makes me happy. Now, if you just do it enough, you become really, really good at it. And if you do it for a long time, you'll become a master at it. And when you're a master at it, somebody will pay you to do it. So forget about all the kind of stuff that you feel are challenges in your life. Like, I released a book and I got an international bestseller with it. I got, number one in the US and number one in the UK with it. And I'm dyslexic, like super dyslexic. I can't even read my own handwriting. I'm really bad. But I was able to overcome that because I was like, I want to put a book out, so I'm going to try my best. And I worked with somebody else because there's always means to an end. I found a ghostwriter who's able to, she was great and she was able to spell things correctly and word things properly. I always say to people that if you want to do something and you're really passionate about it, then go and do it. And despite of anything that holds you back, my condition held me back from being confident for ages, and I started doing YouTube videos, and then it made me more confident to talk in front of a camera, which made me more confident to talk in front of live audiences, and that's how I've done TV work and magazine work and doing talks that I do now all across the world. And so I just say, forget anything that you think is holding you back and think about the ways that you can get around it to make yourself successful, because only you have the passion and the desire to do it. So just do it. I love that about people. So hey, it's awesome. Thanks for having me, Asa. It's been awesome to do this video with you, and I'm super excited to have a video with you on my channel too, so go check that out if you haven't already seen it. Peace.
Thanks so much, Dan, for hanging out with us and answering those questions.
Yeah.
Awesome answers, great insight. I know we have a lot of people with autism that watch our channel with Aspergers, so definitely go check out Dan's content. Go subscribe to his channel. Hit that like button.
Love.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'll leave a link for Dan's channel right here at the end, and jump over there. You can go watch our video where Dan interviewed us. All right? See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. You never know when you're going to need squirrel B-roll.